Well folks, welcome back to the workshop. Today we have another gas gun on for repair. This time she's a TJEP VF 16/64 gas gun. The customer says it just needs a service. The box is a bit of a mess, mind you. One TJEP gun. We'll strip this down, clean it up, do a full service on it and get it back together again. But first off, we just test it, make sure she actually works. Gas on it, I know it. I want to make sure it works first because I still have no suppliers for these guns. Yep. Still works. But she is a bit noisy. Now, she was intermittent firing a little bit. That could be just down to needing a service. These TJEP guns, they're actually quite a good gun. People using them actually do like them. But when anything actually goes wrong and you need a spare part, I can't get any parts for it. So they're good when they're running. You can give them a service, but I can't repair them. Spare parts just aren't available. Now, they might be available elsewhere, but I don't have them available to me here. I have no supplier. It's not actually that bad. More dry than anything. That's not as bad. Rarely would you have to open that up to actually clean it out. So we'll leave that alone. We'll just focus on these here. She's bone dry. Nothing on there at all. Same as the piston. No oil. Mightn't be too bad dirt wise, but she needs to be cleaned out to get rid of this tar build-up, to get everything running smooth again. Pin's okay as well. And steel ring's a bit gummed up. That'll need to be cleaned. Same as this one, or these two. Clean them as well. Now, this motor was making a rattle, and that might be what it is. The fan's just a little bit bent. See, there's a wee wobble on it. If you want to check if there's a bent fan, eye it up so it is perfectly straight to your eye. Slowly turn that fan. And line up the tips of the two blades so that they're sitting parallel to each other. And slowly turn it. See, these ones line up. This one does not. See, this one here is too far down. That's okay. That's okay. That's not. So that's the wobble. The fan's only aluminium. Doesn't take much to straighten it. Get it roughly right, and that should help cure the wobble. There's no guarantee that's the problem, but it will help. Right, clean all this out. Nice and clean, ready to reassemble. And don't be afraid to put on plenty of oil. As you can see from the beginning, it can burn the oil away, so don't be light on the oil. So this is the bottom, and this is the bottom. So this is the top of the gun. Actual arm, the yoke, wraps around the bottom. Doesn't go on that way because the exhaust will be in the way. Get them started by hand just prevents you from cross-threading them, which can be easily done in aluminium. And that can just drop on there. This wee plate goes on the bottom. That goes on after you put the assembly into the housing. Now reattach your door. It's just a steel pin holding that on. Pull out your pin. These grooves face down the way into these grooves here and the guide. Get that on. Reattach your nut. With it in place, you can open up your door. Reattach these two socket heads down in here to hold that assembly together. Same thing, just start them by hand. That's your top half. Last thing then, just shove on your nail guide again. Have that ready. Marry the two halves. Just make sure your guide goes on down here. Now when you get that far, there's two things you need to remember to get this on correctly. One, magazine slide, and two, the switch on here. When you get that on, you get this bar on, there's a gap there. That's because the magazine slide isn't fully down. It can snag as you're putting it on, or can move. Make sure that's moving as you put it on. If that's not moving, it's jammed, and you'll see a gap back here. That's the way you should have it. Secondly, before you bolt it together, this is that last bracket we put on with that single bolt that actually engages the slide switch here. But the slide switch only goes back the way. So you have to lift it up, push back the slide switch, and then close it. So the switch is actually on a spring. Whenever you plunge it down, the spring takes it back to engage the switch. That lever is actually pulling it away from the switch. So make sure you have that especially done before you finish putting it together. And then don't forget 2 bolts at the front. And finally, center bolt. That's her. One TJEP second fix nail gun, fully serviced. That's her. Some batteries are well in there. No risk of them coming out. Just misfiring to begin with. It's just the old gas. And the T-Jeps as well. Unlike the DeWalt second fix, whenever you run out of nails, that just keeps on firing anyway. The T-Jep does actually have a nail stop. But instead of just stopping the plunger from going down, it actually stops the trigger from going in. You can't pull the trigger, but once the nails are back here, trigger works no problem. So once you get up to here, the last, what's that, 8 or 9 nails, stops firing. So it lets you know to load a new strap. That's her, one T-Jep nail gun. Now for a pair of these, if you're needing spare parts, I have no parts for these. I have no supplier for them, so can't get spare parts. Service is the only thing you can do unless it's a very simple repair, or if there's something off an other gun that's available. Online, buying parts yourself, I can't seem to find any spare parts for them online, so anybody at home is going to have problems getting spare parts. But maybe other repair shops that actually sell these guns might have spare parts as well, but I myself here in this workshop don't have spare parts, so for a T-Jep, it's a service only. That's her, up and running again. Now, there's not much point in cleaning the gun, putting it back into a dirty box, so just tidy up the box a wee bit as well. Get rid of all the dirt, remove all the loose nails. That's her. One T-Jep nail gun, fully serviced, ready to go. Thanks for watching, folks. Hope you enjoyed it. Give us a wee like and a follow if you're enjoying the repair videos. Cheers.